Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, IDAC, head Andrea Johnson will testify at the Madlanga Commission on Tuesday, with the threat of an inquiry into her fitness to hold office and possible suspension hanging over her head. Yesterday, the IDAC Oversight judge held a media briefing, and this is what he said.
The first is about the head of IDAC, whether there is any complaint before me concerning her. I've already said that we protect those who complain and those against whom complaints are laid. And therefore, all what I can say is that, yes, we've received quite a number of complaints, and we're busy dealing with them already. The investigators are out there investigating. So without disclosing who the parties are, I can tell you we have received high-profile complaints, and we're dealing with them. The other one is about my being a member of the ANC. I want to start here. And it has been raised several times, not only about me and about other judges. First, as we grow up, you never think that you'll become a judge or a president or whatever. And I believe every young person in this country was fighting for freedom. And those who escaped it might have been very lucky. Not all of us. In many years, I've been the vice chairperson of the Magistrates and Judges Association, Commonwealth. And I was heading 12 countries, East, Central, and Southern Africa. And I helped to draft, and finally in Abuja in 2003, the Latima House principles were adopted. Those principles require that judicial officers must be transparent and they must declare their associations. I have done this myself. I did it. And I think every judge must do it, because if we don't, then we end up appointing wrong people who may in secret do wrong things. I have declared that before I became a judge, I used to be a member of the ANC. I never held any officer in the ANC. And I have been working in different entities. I've been a magistrate, I've been a prosecutor, I've been a regional court president, I have been in the Commonwealth myself, I have been to Gray's Inn in London, where I was trained, and I'm an admitted advocate of the High Court of South Africa. In all these instances, I took an oath of being fair and not favor anybody. And when I became a judge, I took an oath without fear, without favor, and without prejudice. And I still commit to that with the disclosures that I've made. And therefore, I challenge any person who wants to become a judge to disclose his prior associations and make sure that he remains impartial. And I will remain impartial. I've been impartial as a judge now for more than 19 years. And I think you have never heard me having been taken to the JSC for being impartial. So even now, I want to commit myself to impartiality. I just want to emphasize again, our office is not an ombuds office. It's the office of the IDEC Oversight. The reason is that we investigate both external and internal matters. You remember that the public can actually complain to us as well as members of IDEC. The investigators themselves can complain to us. Therefore, we are a purely oversight entity and not an ombuds office. I think I've answered the question that how many complaints have we received. I have said quite a number. Am I independent from the minister? Yes. The minister might have appointed me. I report matters to her. In other words, all the complaints that we do are reported to the minister. I don't have to say anything further to the minister. It's just a question of reporting. Otherwise, I am accountable through the portfolio committee to Parliament.
Let us read the article that is written by News 24. News 24 has established that Justice Minister Mamoloko kubayi has resolved to recommend to President Cyril Ramaphosa that Johnson, who has had a 34-year career at the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, should be suspended and face an inquiry into her fitness to hold office. This stems from a complaint first leveled against her by Public Interest SA on December 15, 2025. Public Interest SA chairperson Tebogo Kaz confirmed to News 24 that it had also laid corruption charges against Johnson over her husband Scorpion's appointment, in which he alleges that she unlawfully and intentionally abused her position to confer a benefit employment gratification upon a related party, namely her spouse, Mr. Andrea Johnson. He further alleges that Johnson's conduct has caused fruitless and wasteful expenditure to the state under the Public Finance Management Act and the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act. Its complaint adds, her failure to do so exposed the matter to a reasonable apprehension of bias, irrespective of subjective intent. Public Interest SA further contends that Johnson acted unethically in relation to the prosecution of crime intelligence head Khumalo and 6 other officers over the allegedly corrupt appointment of 29-year-old BMW employee Dineo Mokwil to a brigadier position. She did so by seeking to challenge Pretoria Chief Magistrate Vuzimuzi Malongu's decision to recuse himself from that trial. Malongu stepped down after KwaZulu-Natal Police Chief Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi told the Madlanga Commission that the magistrate in Khumalo's trial should have read the charge sheet against him and known that the matter should never have been enrolled in court. Mkhwanazi did not mention Malongu by name. According to Public Interest SA, the decision made by IDEC under Advocate Johnson's leadership to challenge Malongu's recusal was concerning in that it reflects a flawed appreciation of the law on recusal and reasonable apprehension of bias, undermines the prosecutorial duty to protect the fairness and sustainability of proceedings, and objectively creates the impression of procedural delay, particularly where prosecutorial readiness has been asserted. In a subsequent statement, kubayi's ministry said the meeting was held to address her and Motibi's concerns about evidence led about IDEC at the commission, which not only alleged that Johnson had improperly forwarded the contents of an assault docket against crime intelligence top cop Furaz Khan to him in 2018, but also raised serious questions about IDEC prosecution of crime intelligence head Dumisani Khumalo and other officials. Last week, Motibi's spokesperson, Kaiser Kinyago, told News 24 that he had tasked NPA prosecutors, aided by an independent senior counsel, to conduct a review of all the cases that IDAC is currently investigating or prosecuting against crime intelligence officers. Following a request from Johnson, Motibi also removed her from involvement in the crime intelligence cases. National Director of Public Prosecutions Andy Mothibi has removed Johnson from involvement in crime intelligence cases. The fallout from the Madlanga Commission testimony nonetheless appears to have only intensified for Johnson, whose continued leadership of IDOC now appears to be under significant threat. Mothibi and Kubayi have indicated that they both have to act to protect the credibility of both the NPA and IDOC. In a closing sentence that appears to indirectly confirm that Kubayi regards Johnson's continuing leadership of IDOC as a direct threat to its credibility, a Justice Ministry statement ends, "We urge the public to continue to support the IDOC as no one is bigger than the organization they serve." The steps taken emanating from this urgent meeting between the three, Kubayi, Mothibi, and Johnson, will be communicated in due course.